It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. Will never sacrifice their will.
Welcome to another episode of Around the 412. I'm Tyler, and with me as always are Smitty and Herb. We're part of the Pod Hub Network and brought to you by Statement Games. And we just did what the Super Bowl could never do.
They were scared. They were shook. By the way, what a terrible Super Bowl.
All around.
There's about as much
All of
offense
it.
going on in this room as there was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't care if people like defense or not. Offense is more entertaining.
That's like,
Oh, yeah.
but even if you are a defensive person, there's still like, there's a happy medium, and that wasn't it. Like, there's
14-point punts or something like that.
Yeah, like there's,
If you love special teams, that was the Super Bowl for you.
I can,
That was Pat McAfee's favorite.
I guess I can understand people saying like the Chiefs-Rams Monday night game was like too much offense. Like,
Yeah.
you want to see a little bit of defense incorporated in that. Like, I'm saying if you're one, like, I won't, if you're
I
one of those fans.
I don't feel like,
Like, for
watching
me-
61 to 60, you know?
For me, I do like a little bit of defense. I mean, I don't know. It's part of the game. Like, I get it. But, like, that was the exact opposite, and that was terrible to watch. So there's, like, somewhere in the middle that game could have been, and I'd have been fine with it.
Yeah. Agreed.
But I would have also been fine with watching a game like that Monday night game. Just definitely not
The
what it
Super
actually
Bowl.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't help the halftime show was ass and the commercials
Yeah,
were
see,
ass.
like, people might, like, roast me for this. I actually like Maroon 5,
I don't
but
mind them.
But yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Maroon 5 fan, and I'm saying that was terrible.
Yeah.
My dad loves Maroon 5. Like, that's probably his favorite band. Like, Elvis is his favorite performer of all time.
Okay.
But, like, he loves Maroon 5, and he was like, I have no idea why that was the halftime show.
Don Smith.
He
Maroon
also
5
really likes
fan.
Justin Timberlake, and he said that's, like, his favorite halftime show of all time,
Yeah.
was Justin Timberlake. Bruno Mars was
Which-
really good.
Didn't he do it
That
twice?
was my favorite. Was
Timberlake,
Bruno
well, yeah.
Mars.
I mean, there's the year that he did it with
Yeah.
Janet Jackson. Yeah.
I was going to say, is that his favorite
Free the
performance?
nipple.
No, not that.
Okay.
I honestly don't even really remember that Super Bowl.
I
Like,
remember where I was.
That's what I remember from the Super Bowl.
Same.
Like,
I don't remember the game.
yeah.
I know it was, Pats, Eagles?
What year
Good
was that?
question. Good question.
I think it was the Patriots and Eagles.
I'm telling you, the only thing I remember is that. So,
What
like,
year was it?
It was the
Oh,
wasn't it the
okay.
2004, 2005 season? So
I mean, if it
the
was the
year
Pats,
the year
Eagles-
before we won the Super Bowl. I think it was.
Really?
I think that would have been Pats Eagles.
I thought it was before that. That was like 02, 03.
I mean, if anybody's watching in chat yet and knows the answer to that, feel free to tell us. I don't know how many people are even joining yet because did they even get the notification
I
that we're
think
live?
Trash Catch is
should've.
in here.
yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so I don't know anybody that's in here. If you saw our tweet, we're gonna do a little bit of a different type show today. I mean, we're starting to do our sports talk. We're gonna run through some topics real quick that I got down, highlight the big points in each sport. But per request of a friend of the show, Donnie Druin, who does some writing for the Steelers portion of Pittsburgh Sports Now, also has his podcast Pylon to Pylon. He wanted us to do, like, I guess on Reddit it's like a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
AMA. So I'm the only one that didn't know what this was.
Yeah. I was surprised.
Okay.
I saw that and I'm like, how do you not know what an AMA is?
So, yeah, and Ask Me Anything. So I asked people for questions. We got them some serious in various forms.
Some
be through-
serious.
Be through Instagram, Twitter, or Donnie actually texted me because he's at work. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, he's not able to watch this live.
The only one
so.
the only one I'm not taking is Ross's.
Ross, yeah. Well, did you see Ross's on Instagram to me? That I
No. Oh yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so we'll see how this goes. Interested to see how it goes. Interested to see reaction, and you
Yeah.
know, if you have any questions that relate to this, type them in chat as we go along. So first off, we will do the sports talk though. Starts with what happened today. JT Realmuto traded to the Phillies. I mean, finally he got traded.
At least it's not the
Been waiting for
Central.
Why did I have to
Right?
do
Yeah,
that
it
bet
wasn't the
last year?
Reds. That was
Yeah.
you know.
Why did I have to take that bet last year?
We'll see with their roster this year. I wouldn't have taken that.
But the rest of the East is insane too.
That's true.
So
Yeah, it's really just everybody and
And the
then
Marlins.
Then the Marlins. And we know that the Mets are going to be banged up. So
yeah.
really, they're probably the fourth place team.
Marlins
By
shocked the world.
If the
Derek
Marlins won
Jeter.
that division,
Just
They-
galaxy brained.
How much
into
money
the
would you
final-
win if the Marlins won that division? You placed a bet.
I don't know
before
what
the
the
season
I
started.
don't know what the betting odds are right now. To be honest with you,
I'll put $5 on them at the Rivers.
yeah.
Oh, I'm dying.
Yes, you are. Technically, we all are, but
I mean, if we're talking division or like
I'm they.
you didn't
they,
say World Series, right? So you
No,
didn't-
they if they win the NL East.
yeah.
that's probably not too much.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
bet it is.
I mean, it's still probably a decent amount. I don't know what the betting odds look like.
Like I
for
wonder if like
divisions,
if
honestly.
if you put like $100 down on them,
Oh.
how much you'd win.
Oh, I don't even want to know.
I think
That's tempting.
it'd be a few thousand.
Yeah, for sure.
Bare
Yeah.
minimum.
I don't know what it would be. Because I've really never seen like an odds thing for divisions like that. I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
always
there
just
is
like-
one.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is now.
Wonder what the Pirates odds are.
Well, if you're going off projections,
The-
fourth.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's like that two teams they have listed at 81 wins.
Yeah.
And they also
Us
have only
and
have
the
the Cubs at
Reds.
82. So,
Yeah.
I mean, based off those projections, really just being on the generous side, a couple games could put them winning the division.
Yeah.
And, well, of course, bad luck could put them in the cellar.
Yeah.
But with an 81 win projection, that could swing literally either way very easily. I don't buy into projections too much,
No.
especially when you have the Cubs at 82. Like, what?
I could see it.
Everyone in our
Chris-
division
look how-
winning 80 at
Chris
least 80
Bryant,
games.
there's
Yeah.
no way Chris Bryant has a year like he did last year. Like,
Yeah, he's got to get somewhat better.
I'm not like ridiculously high on you, Darvish, but they didn't have him at all last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know if he's going to, come back swinging or, throwing, I guess. You know?
On the reverse side of that, can Javi Baez be as good as he was last year?
Yeah. Can Cole Hamels.
Yeah,
suck.
I mean, yeah, he was ridiculous when he went there. So, I mean, if he continues that, then, yeah, they're probably blowing that 82 games out of the water, but,
Mhm. But it's the Cubs. They
It's-
will. They're the luckiest team in the world.
right. So
Now
which
they
is why-
are. Not
Which
the
is
past couple
why
years.
I can't see them being below 86, 87.
I don't know. The NL's tough. The NL is tough.
Yeah, I mean, Central, 4, maybe all 5 pretty good teams.
Yeah, I don't think the Reds are going to make 500 this year. If they do, good for them. I personally don't think they will.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be a dangerous team
Yeah,
at home.
exactly
For
'Cause
sure.
They don't have pitching.
I mean, in that ballpark, I just feel like they're going to be able to hit with a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm. they
Maybe
will.
win a lot of like 10-9 games.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
But yeah, they still don't have the pitching. There's not even really enough arms out there, I don't think, to even cover that up.
No.
Even if they added every pitcher available.
Yeah, Gio
uh,
and Keuchel,
Yeah, I mean, add
Yeah.
those two to the rotation.
it's still not going to be great.
I don't trust Sonny Gray there.
No, that was I
So-
personally
Dingers.
think that was a really bad trade.
So, I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the Central does. The Central and the East are both going to be good.
Yeah, the East, even the Marlins are going to steal games.
The
Bad
West,
teams win.
you still got the Dodgers.
Yeah.
With Corey Seager coming back. The Diamondbacks, obviously, they're going the opposite direction. They're selling for right now. They're kind of going into rebuilding. The Rockies,
I think they're going to regress a little bit.
yeah, well, but they got one last year of Arenado, really. I mean, you kind of feel like they got to do something this year. Not that
Yeah.
they will. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they'd end up selling Arenado at the deadline. I don't know.
To the Yankees.
Go to the Padres. I don't know. They're not there yet.
No.
They will see what they do with their prospects that are coming up possibly this season.
And Machado.
If they, I was just saying, if they add Machado, they're still. I mean, what are they shooting for? Like third in that division?
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, the Giants are always
And
going to pester
the
people.
Giants are in on Machado now too. Apparently. So
The Giants just need to.
The Giants
away
wanted
for a couple years.
Stanton when he went to the Yankees. I mean, they're definitely willing to add a big contract to that roster, whether it be Harper or Machado. I was surprised I wasn't hearing their name really before these last couple days linked to those two.
what
But
up,
anyway.
Geddes?
But anyway, the Phillies with this Romuto trade, I think that that's kind of like it could be both. I could see it being like a lure for a Machado or Harper, being like we got another superstar here now. I could also see it being like a cover up for not getting one of those two. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen both point of views on Twitter where people are like, "This is because they're not getting one of the two," or people saying this means they're getting one of the two.
Huh. I mean,
If
I
they're,
really.
if they're not getting Bryce, then I don't know where he's going. Back to Washington.
I still think he's headed out west. But I really like the trade for the Phillies, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Sixto Sanchez is going to be a stud, but what is the Phillies apparently have fallen out of favor with them. They don't like his work ethic. I mean, he's 20 years old still.
Yeah.
I mean, he throws 100 miles per hour at 20 years old. Like I feel like he's going to be very good. But for the Phillies, I mean, they're obviously trying to get Bryce. I would think Bryce before Manny, obviously,
yeah.
with the way that their roster's constructed after getting Gene Segura and everything.
And Kingery and J.P. Crawford
Yeah.
and blah, blah,
They
blah.
got the infielders already. But anyway, I feel like they're in a window to compete right now. So, 2 years of Real Muto, they're fine with giving up a Sixto Sanchez
Yeah.
and dealing with it. For the Marlins, obviously, it's a good trade. Finally, Jeter made a good move, I think, after very underwhelming trades in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Finally dealt a superstar for a haul, which he needed to. I mean, with what he had gotten in the past, they needed to hit on this trade, and obviously we won't know for years if he did, but on the surface it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. So, I think it's one of those trades that'll work out for both teams.
Right. MLB rule changes.
Donardo and I are going to get into this tonight. So,
Yes, I mean, we won't hit too much on it. Obviously, I said we want to kind of run through this, but real quickly looking at it, I think I might be the only person that really doesn't care one way or another about the DH thing
I don't
that
either.
I've seen. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen like your opinion on it. Obviously, I was saying from like what I see on Twitter,
Yeah.
like people like
Talking about like banning it or having it in
Bringing-
both
adopting it to
leagues.
the
I
NL, yeah.
honestly like I could care less if they do it in both leagues, have it 1-1, or don't do it at all. Like,
If I had a preference, I'd probably want both leagues the same. But whether it has it or doesn't have it, then I'm not going to be complaining about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like one of those people that like it has to be this way because it's been this way. Like, the people who are against analytics type people, they're like
Yeah.
that. They're like the game's been this way forever. Why would you change it?
because
I
it's
just-
dying.
Yeah,
but
I really don't have.
Because no one wants to see a pitcher at bat.
yeah.
It's kind of hard for me to give an opinion on it. Like, I agree. Like, I say now that I wouldn't care if we continued to not have a DH, but at the same time, how many times in a season are we going to get pissed because a pitcher's batting with a guy on second and third and one out?
Yeah.
And he
If
strikes out?
anything,
Like,
it's going to limit the hurdles that happen this year. Get it?
Although we do have Liriano back, so just put him
Yeah.
yeah,
in. Pinch hit.
that's true. But I think that like it would make sense for it to be universal on both sides. Why isn't it? The
I don't
same?
think it. I think it doesn't make sense that it isn't.
Yeah, I agree.
Like whether you're going to have it or whether you're not, why don't both leagues adopt the same rule?
Yeah.
Very true.
And I see both sides of the argument. The people that just don't want it because this is the way it's been are the wrong ones. The people that say it makes the game easier on the managers, I can understand because I always kind of like that little bit of I think North Shore 9 said second and third, one out, and the pitcher's up.
Yeah.
Like, that's interesting to
I
see
mean,
what you do there.
It does make the game, if you in the NL, like they don't have the DH, so it does make managing in the NL more difficult than it would in the AL.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
AL, they
and-
don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
And you're seeing pitchers, stints shorted by it. Like guys in the AL, they could throw for an extra inning or two because of it. Like
Yeah.
not necessarily because guys in the NL couldn't, but
They don't want
the
them
managers
up
are
to
put in a
bat.
position where they don't want them hitting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're pulling a guy that maybe we see it all the time. A guy doesn't even have 80 pitches yet, but why would you want him to go out there and hit when you're in a position to score?
Yeah, you're in like
nothing
the
game,
sixth inning.
something. Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of scenarios where it comes down to it having to be more strategic in the NL because you don't have the DH.
And you don't have to worry about double switching and stuff like that too when you take people out.
Yeah.
And from a perspective, just looking at it like as a job, I mean, there are guys that are career DHs. I mean, look at like
David
David
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Yeah. So like he wouldn't have been able to play in the NL really. I mean, honestly, maybe Josh Bell's better suited as a DH.
That
We'll still
Kutch
see.
is going to be better off
But-
suited as a DH in the next couple years here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of guys that like could have a living just as a DH, where in the NL that's not possible.
Yeah. Plus, what I think with the whole DH thing is bringing the DH to the NL probably makes the game a little more watchable for people who aren't necessarily diehard fans.
Mhm.
Just because the offense goes up, the pace of the game will go up. So
How many people are actually going to stop watching baseball if they bring the DH to the NL?
none. They're just going to say that, not watch the first 5 games of the season.
I
And
saw
then I'm
people
bored.
saying I'm not renewing my ticket packages.
They're
like-
stupid. It's the same people that said they won't go to NFL games because players were kneeling.
Right.
It's the same exact people. They all just need to go off to greater pastures.
What else do we have? What else is part of these proposed rule
They
changes?
want to give a minimum of 3 batters to a pitcher.
Yeah, that affects a lot of people's
I don't
jobs
like
too. I see. Yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan either. I mean,
Does
I
that mean
get
if you
If
if there's 2 outs, there's only when you get the last out as a reliever, like you bring in for that specific person. So say it's like up to it's a lefty, so you bring in a lefty to pitch against him.
I'm gonna say in your
And
scenario,
then-
I'm gonna say Liriano because this is the perfect example.
Yeah.
Because
So
he's not
if-
gonna face righties.
So if you bring him in, does that mean he has to stay in for the 2 next batters of the next inning?
That's the how
Yeah,
that seems
that's
kind of
what
tough
I'm
to
not
keep
sure
track
on.
of.
Yeah.
Like as an umpire, what if they do send somebody else out? Are you really gonna be like, no, wait? He only faced 2 batters last inning. He's got to face at least 1 this inning.
I think
That's gonna slow the game down.
Well, I think there's going to be a caveat there. I think it's going to be if somebody comes in to start the inning or something along that line. I think if somebody comes in with 1 out left, there'll be a caveat. If he's up that inning, you can pinch hit.
makes it a little more sense.
But just like the matchup game, righty facing righty, lefty facing lefty, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, stuff like that. I would much prefer to have that. If this is all pace of play stuff. If you want to make the game faster, either A, bring back bullpen carts, B, like North Shore 9 said, put in a goddamn zip line.
we love it. Oh man, a zip line, that'd be great.
It would.
Dude, there'd be so many fans trying to just jump on that. The fans that go streaking at games, instead they're just taking the zip line. Okay, so there's that.
I can't remember the rest.
1 trade deadline, no waiver deadline.
I'm okay with that.
A 26th roster spot,
I'm okay with that as well.
which
thir-
can be a pitcher. Like you
Yeah.
have the extra, yeah.
And a 13 max pitcher roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's all the ones I saw, I think.
like they're gonna study about possibly lowering the mound.
Oh,
13 max. Is that on your 25-man roster?
If in this
Like
case,
if
it
they
would be
went to
26.
26.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be like how you did that for the wild card game.
Yeah.
That roster.
Yeah, 5 and 8, and then everyone else is fielders. Or 6 and 7, whichever one you want to do. Yeah.
If that's not it, then I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, I think so too.
But anyway,
Like you
yeah, the
said-
biggest one's the DH thing. I mean, that's gonna be argued till the end of time.
Oh yeah, and
Even
all
if
the-
they do it, like people are gonna be against it. They're not gonna actually stop watching baseball. But
everybody arguing against the DH, I guarantee you, are either old and white or wrong.
all right, well there you have it.
What if you if a relief pitcher, if you want to shorten time, what if a relief pitcher, if they warmed up in the bullpen, they can't warm up on the field?
Ooh,
Hmm.
that's a good one.
So if they got called up and they're warming up in the bullpen, once they run out, they just start pitching. They don't warm up anymore.
Right.
That'd be not a bad idea. That'd probably adjust how long you get them warming up for, and you probably wouldn't be able to sit anyone down in the pen.
Yeah, like the only case where you could warm up on the field is that, say like pitcher gets injured or something and they have to. It's like an emergency switch.
Yeah.
Which is how it is in general.
Yeah.
So
Which at that point, yeah, you get like an unlimited number of pitches when you're the guy coming in to,
Yeah.
to warm up.
yeah,
So,
I like that one.
Yeah, if you warm up in the pen, don't warm up on the field.
all right. So last thing in baseball, we already mentioned Liriano, but the Pirates added 2 more guys on minor league signings. One we're not going to see this year. They added an option for next year, and Tom Cooler, who is basically, let's see what he has. Essentially, he's going to be rehabbing
Yeah.
for most of the season. He had shoulder surgery. So I don't know. Apparently, the Dodgers saw something before he got hurt.
I mean, he's been on a
So-
major league roster for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
I never thought he was horrible. He's definitely a back end of the rotation guy. Maybe even out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So
I think at this point he's coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
So there's that. I guess it's an interesting option for 2020.
Oh yeah.
And then Nick Franklin,
Yeah.
who's a former first-round pick. He's been in the MLB for a while.
You know what's funny?
Um,
Never heard of him once.
really?
Yeah.
Look at the numbers. He's really only had like 1 above average season. Well, it was really average, but I mean WRC plus wise, he's only had 1 above average season. 2012 or 13. He spent time with the Mariners, Rays. I mean, I know the name. He was a former first-round pick.
I was gonna say I feel like I've seen him
Um,
at some point, but
Yeah. But I don't know. It's a minor league contract. I really don't see him making the team.
No.
He's coming here maybe just to compete for another roster
Mhm.
on a different team.
or it's
And
just
then
a depth
of course
spot.
the big one, Liriano, coming back out of the 3, who was also a minor league signing, but probably has the best chance out of these guys to make it.
Yeah, I honestly think he might have an inside shot at the 5th man in the rotation. Yeah, maybe not inside.
I
Do
just
you want him as that?
I mean, looking at it, he can't get righties out anymore. Like
Yeah.
I just feel like his role is a lefty specialist.
Yeah. I wonder if he gets anything back against righties if you use him as an opener.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting thought. Definitely would do that before actually him being the every fifth day starter.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's not been able to get outs against righties. So,
Yeah.
but lefties he's still relatively effective. That slider just has not been as good these last couple years, and that's really what has attributed to his decline. You know, we saw it started.
Decline though.
Yeah, it started here in 2016, and we had to dump him. You know, to the Blue Jays and the trade that everybody was talking about at that time,
Yeah.
where we trade Reese McGuire and Ramirez.
Harold Ramirez.
Harold Ramirez to the Blue Jays and get Drew Hutchison back, and
Drew
Kind of a-
Hutchison.
kind of a wash for both teams.
Yeah, I was
Evil
going to say,
Neil.
where is anyone now?
Yeah,
Hutchison's on the Yankees.
Reese McGuire's still with the Blue Jays.
Is-
Evil
he's not
Neil's
the
on
roster, is
Hutchison's jock.
Well, yeah. He's not on the roster, is he?
I think he is. He's
Uh,
probably he might
backup.
end up being
He
there.
might, he might be
Yeah,
their
I
starter.
mean with Russell traded, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think he's going to do well now.
But yeah, those were two guys. Yeah, I did that they were top 10 prospects for the Pirates, but the prospects at that time, like the drop off from like the 4 to 5 prospect. Wow, at that time, like the prospect pool was not that good. It was very top heavy. You know, you had Meadows and Keller, and Glasnow, and then like everybody else.
So
So
people were freaking out whenever we traded Reese McGuire,
yeah, I didn't understand it, but
and he was what, number 10 on our list.
so, I don't know if he was. It was he might have been because I think it was like the number 7 and 10 prospect, but I don't know which one was which or whatever.
I think
but
he was 10.
anyway, like I've always been higher on Diaz than him, so that's why when the trade happened, I was like, I'm not surprised that they
Yeah.
ended up getting rid of him because those two were kind of along the same timeline when they were going to be coming up to the big. So it was whatever.
I think they made the right choice.
All right, so that's
Also,
enough
we get to hear
baseball.
Ron Cook say Liriano again.
Right.
God, I hate that man. You want to do a speaking of which
Beaver
on Ron
County's finest.
Do I want to what?
Cook? Speaking of which on Ron Cook, he only
Yeah,
had
go ahead.
one vote on his Hall of Fame ballot.
Right. And
One.
somebody
vote.
got and
Wait, what do you mean?
he only voted for Mariano Rivera for
Yeah.
the Hall of Fame.
Oh, so you're saying he only got one? He only voted
On-
for one of the players that
yeah.
actually got in.
On his ballot. No, he only voted for one player on his ballot.
There was 4 people that did it. He
Yeah.
was one of the 4.
Why does he have a vote?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I have
Is
no
he-
idea.
Is he a baseball writer?
Well, who scored?
I don't know. Who's on the power play?
All right. Anyway, yeah, Ron Cook's an idiot. But getting to
Yeah,
hockey,
Beaver
it's going
Falls,
on right
though.
now, right behind us, and the Pens just let up a goal.
I just don't know who it was.
Speaking of the Pens,
Is that Mike Hoffman?
these last couple games have been kind of like back to where they were at, where they had that stretch of really bad hockey. I mean, it's just a couple games, but Murray's hurt.
Yep.
Um,
This one's different though.
Again.
yeah, I mean, it's not a concussion.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, he was out on the ice. They weren't even sure like he was going to miss any time. You know, who's to say Smith wouldn't have been starting today anyway. But prior to this, he's actually been pretty good. I didn't know. Apparently, he had the 3rd best save percentage in the NHL since December. Before that, so
Well, I know when he came back until I don't know what game it was he lost, but he was like 8-0 or 9-0 since he came back in December.
right, okay,
And
yeah. I mean, he'd been playing pretty good hockey. It was kind of flying under the radar, I guess. But as far as a team, I mean, we sit here and we talk about it all the time. Like, there's no point in pressing the panic button on this team right now.
I have one thing to panic about.
if you say his name, I'm gonna hit you.
I'm going to say his name. I'm going to say his name at some point in the show.
Well, I mean, this is the first game where they have new lines and pairings. So,
No, they did it in the last game, mid-game.
okay. Well, this is
Yeah.
the first game they're going into
Yeah.
starting.
Oh, that triggered me so bad.
So Bukestad's on the first line now, playing wing. What else is different about the forwards?
Cullen's the second line center.
Yeah, that's bad.
Concerning. Remember when we said they would have center depth at the start of this year?
I mean, technically they did.
They did.
I still think they do. It just doesn't mean like they're not using it right.
But they're not using it right. That's the problem.
So Gensel, Crosby, Bukestad,
Mhm.
Russ, Cullen, Kessel,
Mm-hmm.
Simone, McCann, Hornquist,
Mm-hmm.
Pearson, Bluter, Wilson. And then the pairs, Pedersen and Letang, Dumoulin, Johnson, Motto, Ricola.
I mean, out of the forwards, the only thing I really don't like is Cullen on the second line.
Agreed. Honestly, put Bluger
That's,
there.
I
that's about it.
Hornquist like has been invisible for a month now.
Ever since coming back, right?
Pretty much.
Yep.
I guess so.
Yep.
I mean,
I'm,
I'm not surprised. I mean, he's playing with McCann and Simone right now. Like, where's that line coming from? But
that was bad enough.
he really, with what you're paying him, you can't afford for him to go invisible like this.
I think he's playing hurt. What? Wait.
Possibly.
Oh, never mind.
Give him some time off, though.
Yeah. I hate how this team is just matched up right now.
Yeah, it just,
Everything about it.
it really doesn't look bad on paper, like you said, other than Colin playing second-line center.
But then you watch it on the ice, and it's garbage.
I mean, the pairs. You swap in Schultz, though.
Why separate Letang and Dumoulin? Like,
Because you need somebody who's actually good at hockey to play with Jack Johnson. But the problem is Jack Johnson is so bad.
Did you see that clip that I quoted from? It was Johnson like chasing the puck behind the net,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, it's honestly ridiculous that this even turned into a puck battle.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
the guy he's just so slow,
He's-
man. Like,
people complain about Mata being slow.
well, yeah, but Mata actually makes up for it with spacing. Like, that's why Mata's still like very serviceable. Because yeah, he's slow, but he reads plays well.
Yet everyone wants
he's
to
at
get rid of him
spacing.
before Jack Johnson.
Well, people are stupid.
Agreed. At this point, whoever's still having Jack Johnson in the lineup, I don't care who it is in that organization, they're also an idiot. Can't take it.
I mean, I can't, like, I'm sick of harping on it, to be honest, because I don't see it changing. But I don't get how you give a guy like that a 5-year contract
I don't
instead
get.
of a 1-year prove-it deal. Like, if you're going to take a chance on him, fine.
I'm
whatever.
convinced they mixed up his contract and a check for Penn's charities. I'm convinced. He's so bad.
That's a hell of a mistake.
I wouldn't be shocked if it happened.
So what did the Penn's charities get
I don't know.
650,000.
Yeah.
for 1 year? This is the last year of this.
I don't get how he's on the penalty kill either. I almost say that goal right there was bad luck, but that was his guy that was just wide open.
I
He was
didn't
just
see it.
standing in the middle of the ice.
But, okay, so for me, you get the guys back that are healthy, and Malkin, Zach Aston, Reese, and Schultz.
Mhm.
Those are, that looked pretty good
Yeah.
if you're taking out the right people. The problem is Johnson's still going to be playing.
He shouldn't. That's all I can say.
Like, Juuso Riitola has been, pretty meh in the defensive zone. I get it. Like, you look at the advanced numbers, he's out there for a ton of chances against.
And he gets his face caved in, but he's
And-
serviceable.
But not nearly as many. Like, I looked at Jesse Marshall.
Mhm.
He tweeted out some, like, eye-popping stats about Johnson. He was, like, 10 minutes of ice time. He was out there for 28 chances against or something
And
like that.
8-4? Something
Like-
stupid.
Yeah. Crazy numbers. Him and Pedersen were actually working together for a while. And then it all went downhill.
Working is
Last couple
in.
games.
You didn't notice him as much.
Working is in.
Yeah.
Matt Murray was playing out of his mind. Pedersen was playing well.
Yeah.
And Pedersen, in that case, is going to take a step back just because looking where he came from in Anaheim, at first he didn't start out too great. Started playing well, continued it here, and there's going to be dips. There's going to be dips in how players play all year.
He's also 22. He's also 22 years old. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just stuck on Jack Johnson.
But Schultz is coming back soon. I think a big problem with what I'm seeing with this team right now is they lack another puck-moving defenseman, and that's, Schultz is going to add that back into the team. Now, if it were for Jack Johnson, then you still probably have a puck-moving defenseman on every pair.
Yep.
But that's not going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what they do. I mean, if Schultz is literally just coming in and replacing Juuso Riitola, then and everything else stays the same. What you're putting him with Mata probably would have been the case anyway.
Yeah.
But keeping Dumoulin with Johnson and Letang with Pedersen, I mean, we'll see how it works out. I don't see it working.
I don't
I
either.
mean, like we said, you had one shutdown pairing. Now, do you have one?
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, it kind of I get the theory of it. It's kind of like not wanting to why would you want to put Crosby, Malkin, Kessel all out on the ice together? It's because you want balance.
Yeah.
So you're trying to balance the defense, but it doesn't work like that.
not
You
with,
gotta have
not with someone of his caliber.
Dumoulin and Letang should never be apart from each other.
Play Letang 40 minutes. Who cares?
Yeah, seriously.
He doesn't.
He could probably get it done too.
I'm just hoping they find consistency when everybody gets back, like
I hope.
Schultz and Zach Aston Reese and Malkin.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, what do you think's going through Jim Rutherford's mind watching these games right now?
I don't want to know because I have
I
a
mean,
feeling.
see, I know that he said, well, he doesn't want to trade that first round pick.
Mhm.
That's for sure. But he also mentioned that he wants to see the guys that are going to be back soon rejoin the team before he gives his final evaluation.
You're playing with fire.
So I guess that's
To me, it's like, what do you really add at this point? If you were trading that first round pick,
At this point,
you don't really have cap room to do anything
No.
unless you're moving a roster player. So what do you even add?
I saw somebody say, if Ottawa and Duchesne don't work out an extension, you trade for that first round pick for Duchesne, and you flip Bukestad.
I mean,
I don't think
but
that.
you don't even know what you have in Bukestad yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Jim Rutherford, he's been on his radar for 3 years.
yeah.
I,
He's not going anywhere. I don't know.
This wasn't like a legit.
Yeah.
I'm throwing that out there. It was
Yeah.
literally just like a fan responding to something. So
yeah, no, I just
there's nobody to credit with that.
No.
I just don't get it. Like what they would add of value that would help their team, just because you don't really have the cap room unless you move people off of your team.
And I'm going to say it. If we didn't sign Jack Johnson, we wouldn't have this problem at all.
If we didn't have him and everything else the same, then yeah, you have a little bit of money to work with.
Yeah. You have enough to add a depth scorer. Because at this point, that is my main issue with the team, is not a lot of guys outside of the stars are scoring.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
Patterson's went
fourth
silent.
line looked pretty good for a while. But that's the thing is, right now, everybody's playing
All over
roles
the
that they
place.
shouldn't. Yeah. So that's why, I'm going to reserve judgment. Well, not necessarily on Johnson. I'm not reserving judgment there. But as far as the team as a whole, until they are fully healthy, which, all guys are skating right now, it's going to be soon,
Yeah.
I would think. So we'll see.
And part of me wants to just, whenever Malkin and Zach Aston Reese come back, make your lines that you want to make, and then just say figure it out. Like if you struggle, figure it out, because switching lines doesn't exactly help everything either.
No.
Like every game.
Oh, no. I mean, that's the thing. You got to find consistency. So you can't just say, all right, we got shut out in a game. That's it. These lines aren't working.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened the past few games. It's no, let them figure it out.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
One game doesn't mean the lines are bad.
No. But a handful of games is where it starts to get.
Yeah, well, they haven't played a handful of games together.
Well, no,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
I mean, Bukestad and McCann just got here. And
Yeah,
they're-
exactly. The only,
They're
literally,
being thrown around.
the only person that you can consistently get mad at because he's consistently proven is Jack Johnson. That's it. That's it.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting that. Well, it's his role though too. I was just saying I'm kind of getting there with Hornquist, but you're putting him on the third line with now McCann, so he's another new center, and Simone's down there now.
How would a line of Hornquist, Malkin, and Aston Reese do?
I don't know. Aston Reese and Hornquist are basically the same player.
I know.
I don't like that.
I'm just curious. That's not an idea of do it. I'm just curious to see how that would even go.
I think Malkin needs at least one person that can
A shooter,
skate with him.
shooter or playmaker.
I'm not
Or just-
necessarily either. Just someone who can skate with him.
What's going on
Okay,
here?
Fair enough. I don't know.
There's a conversation actually going on.
I'm not used to that.
I don't know. Bucko Mike's in here.
Oh hey,
What? Bucko Mike
he's
is
probably telling us to
is
shut
on
up.
Twitch.
Yeah, he came in here and said,
Stop talking about hockey. We know.
High white breads.
Is there not an age limit in here? We didn't set that.
I want to know what Weeks thinks. Weeks. I don't
Weeks
know.
cheeks. I'll never
All right.
forget that. By the way.
Anyway, that's enough hockey talk.
Yeah.
All right. So, lastly, before we do our very special segment that everybody's looking forward to, we got a little bit of football to talk because there is a new story with Antonio Brown. Who would have thought?
Oh no.
Who would have thought within 1 week? No, not even a week. 5 days, there'd be something new to talk about with Antonio Brown. So, there was a domestic dispute issue that happened in January, apparently over one of his children's haircut.
Oh.
Not wanting to pay for it. So allegedly, this is I'm not going to say he did or he didn't. We don't know. He pushed the mother of one of his children to the ground when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
the NFL is now going to look into it. This is like, what is this guy's trade value?
Nothing.
A fifth
Because-
round pick, maybe.
Because think about it. Like, what exactly did Ezekiel Elliott get suspended for?
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Accused
Mhm.
domestic dispute that the girl even said that it didn't happen later. So how does Antonio Brown avoid a suspension?
I don't know.
I
I'm
think
s-
the
I'm-
situation handled itself.
I'm really sick of the whole thing.
Meaning,
He might not be on the team next year, whether we want it or not. At least for a
Well-
period of time.
well, if we're still paying him, that sucks though. I mean, all the money, and he's still technically on the roster, just suspended.
Yeah. Does
So
that
suck?
if he's suspended for a full season, does the cap hit stay on? Because that's stupid if it does.
Well, the thing is, he's gonna have his signing bonus already,
No.
right? So like, and that's most of his money for next season.
Yeah. But I mean, cap hit's the thing that matters.
Yeah, I mean, if he just gets suspended, it's without pay. Like, he doesn't get his game checks.
Yeah.
It's So I don't know how. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's the thing that matters. The the Steelers are basically like a Leafs, where they just have all the money in the world. They can just throw at people.
Leafs. Speaking of the Leafs, we actually didn't bring that up at all.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews' contract.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm really sick of the whole situation.
I am too.
Like, I send him to the freaking moon. I don't care.
Him and Jack Johnson
I'm
into the sun.
sick of talking about Antonio Brown.
but we're talking about one of the best receivers of all time, and not even getting anything for him.
Yeah, but if
I
you're gonna
don't
be
care.
a bastard and ruin your own career,
He did that. He
did
did
to
that
himself.
like to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Nothing the Steelers could have done at that point.
he's done this all to himself. He's done this all to the Steelers.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. Just get rid of him. Who cares?
They had a very short window of opportunity to move on,
Mhm.
and most people thought it didn't even make sense. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to fault the Steelers in terms of this,
Mm-hmm.
because you kind of have to see how things play out, especially with a guy like that. But yeah, at this point, I keep saying it. Like, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know how this plays out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see a way that he's on the Steelers in 2019. But at the same time, like, what I think doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I haven't seen. Obviously haven't seen a statement really from, like. I mean, Art said he doesn't envision him being on the Steelers, but circumstances change every day.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I said. Like, circumstances change every day. The players have all been, like, in support of him. I mean, they're all putting up, like, pictures on Instagram of him. If they want him here, how does it, I don't know. You got people making shirts in Pittsburgh of him and Bell.
Yeah. Who, by the way, is going to get transition
Like,
tagged?
yeah, that's it. That's one of the final things to talk about.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, the only two people I think matter that would want him here would be Rooney and Tomlin. And at this point, I don't think
See,
either of them want him here.
I think I said this before. I think that there's 3 players on the team whose opinion you ask.
Ben
Ben,
Pouncey?
Pouncey, and Hayward.
Okay. That's fair.
I think that they should have a voice in the decision making.
Oh, I agree.
Because like Antonio, that was one of his big gripes is, like he doesn't have a voice like that. But just because you're a great player doesn't make you a leader.
No, and I mean, he's kind of showcasing that now.
Yeah. I mean, Antonio, like I said, he's one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. That doesn't make him a leader.
No.
No, he's a freaking moron.
And if you want to talk about that,
Is-
Broussard complained about not being a leader here. And that's why he wasn't doing
That
well.
was that was weird.
That's a
That
bitch of a
piece
human.
by Jason Mackey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're complaining that you wanted more ice time on a team with 2 of the best centers in the league and you want to be a leader in a room with 4 all-stars, you don't deserve to be here.
That goes back to it not being the right fit.
Steelers coach lost the locker room. Okay, Buckham Mike, that is something I can't stand whenever people are blaming Tomlin for what Antonio Brown does when he leaves. Like, Tomlin does not have anything to do with
Off the
what
field.
Antonio Brown does as soon as he leaves the Steelers facility.
Yeah.
It is not his responsibility to make a 30-year-old act like a grown man.
Even in practice, whenever he threw the ball at Ben, he can't control that. What is he supposed to do? Hold his arm back?
Like, no coach in any professional sport has any responsibility of what their players do outside of the facility.
And all
Yeah.
the players seem to love him. Rooney seems to love him, especially after this whole Antonio Brown thing and benching him for that week.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I think that like this off season with how this is being handled, and next season are like the defining moments for Tomlin.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with
Mhm.
you, because I feel like next season, if they have another season like this, what happens?
That's it. I don't care if
I
you
mean,
make the playoffs. and
you know,
lose in the
people are
first week.
calling for Tomlin's head anyway.
but they
They
have.
have for the past decade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have been ever since.
They didn't want him hired.
He lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah.
But
But like, I don't know. I think that this is where Tomlin makes his money is next season.
yeah, agreed.
But as far as the thing with losing the locker room, like from everything that we've heard, Antonio was this person from day one when he got here.
Ryan
To this
Clark.
extent, no. I mean, a lot of people, have been pointing it directly to a certain hit in a playoff game
Yeah.
and saying this is where everything changed. Because even though Antonio Brown has always been like that person, like Colin Dunlap said, he still like always had a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
He was still personable. That all changed. Apparently after that day.
I don't
Now
know.
I'm not going to say the guy has CTE because he took a hit in the playoff game. Like I'm not going to jump to that conclusion. That's
mean,
not me.
I wouldn't be surprised just because that was a
But-
horrible, horrible hit. I've never seen.
No, I mean, yeah.
Like
If it came out, then
then
okay.
oh well, yeah.
But I'm not going to be the guy that says, "Oh, he's got a mental disorder," or
Yeah.
he's suffering from CTE already. Like that's just
exactly.
But yeah, personally, I really don't care what the Steelers give for him at this point. I'm just sick of the whole situation.
The more and more that comes out, Ryan Clark had it
I
spot
mean,
on.
you're not getting a first-round pick. You're not getting a second-round pick. To me, I wouldn't trade that for him.
yeah.
You're lucky if you get a fourth-round pick, I think.
So
And that's just my personal opinion. I really don't care about him anymore. I don't like the situation anymore. I'm just sick of it as a Steelers fan. I don't want that on the team next year, and I don't care what you get for him. Just trade him.
Could you imagine if Le'Veon Bell makes his team and Antonio Brown's not there?
I wouldn't
Well,
care. I'd like.
I'm just. That's a weird thing to think about a year ago.
I just feel like
Even 6 months ago.
for the Steelers, I just
second.
feel like
I really don't think you're getting a second-round pick
for
him.
the Steelers, from their perspective, I think it's almost like this is what, like, when are they going to reach the point where it doesn't matter what they get? Because I don't think that they're
Yeah.
going to get there. Like, I think it's like this is what we're getting in a trade, or we're keeping them.
Agreed.
No, I don't think the Steelers will get there. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't care because I'm just sick of the whole thing.
If we're going off pure skill, how the hell did Amari Cooper get a first-round pick?
Yeah, while like going into free agency.
Yeah. How?
Like he was literally a rental for the Cowboys for a
Uh-huh.
first-round pick. That was, I mean, I know that Cooper was very good in Dallas, and he's probably getting an extension there, and that's great for him. And so,
Did
doesn't
Demaryius
end up-
Thomas get traded for a fourth-round pick?
yeah, I think so.
How?
It was fourth-round pick. Golden Tate was a third.
How?
Yeah.
The trading in the NFL does not make sense.
And if this domestic stuff is actually true, then you can kiss like
Well,
any higher
yeah.
pick goodbye.
Yeah.
At that point, I really
See,
don't
I'm
care
not.
if
I'm
you
not
cut him or
treating
not.
that as fact yet. Like I'm not even taking
Neither
that
am
part
I.
in the
But
consideration.
if it is, I don't even care if you cut him at that point.
Right. Le'Veon Bell, you just brought him up. He apparently could get the transition tag, but with no intent of actually playing for the Steelers.
Why would they even do that?
So yeah, letting him walk gives you a third-round compensatory pick anyway.
letting him walk gets you probably a higher pick than what you get for Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. And I mean, what's the difference going to be if you trade him? What are you getting for him? I mean,
Couldn't tell you.
it also takes like Jeremy Fowler, who covers the Steelers for ESPN, was saying, it takes a lot of trust from Le'Veon, his agent, and the other team to even be able to facilitate this.
Mhm.
You think Le'Veon and his agent have trust in the Steelers right now?
Hell no.
Not saying that they should or shouldn't, but like in their minds, no. There's
Yeah.
no way. I don't see it. It doesn't make sense. Just
None of it.
cut ties, get the third-round pick, roll with Connor and Samuels, and let him do whatever he wants and
Yep.
hope it works out for him.
Yep. Actually, well, yeah, unless it's against you.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not. Yeah, that
Yeah.
part was just me saying
Yeah,
that, not
yeah.
the Steelers, because But like his trade value. I mean, if he agrees to like a sign and trade, maybe a team would give up like a second rounder for him. I don't know, but if it's
Maybe.
not, if you're talking third-round pick or less, it doesn't even make sense anyway. You're getting a third-round pick if he signs elsewhere.
Yeah.
So really, you're going to sign and trade hoping that you get a first or second rounder?
That's
Does-
bold.
Yeah. I mean, especially with relating this to what the next topic and last topic in the NFL is, the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley gets 34 yards in the Super Bowl for whatever reason. Was he hurt? Did he just not fall into their? Did C.J. Anderson overtake him at the end of the year?
I'm
mean-
pretty sure it was because he was hurt, but
But
He
that's
said
what I'm
he
saying.
wasn't
Yeah, they're
hurt.
not listening on the injury reports. If he
really?
say he gets surgery or something, the Rams are going to end up losing a draft pick from that. You can't
Huh.
you can't not list the guy in the injury report and then have him get off-season surgery.
Yeah. Huh. That's
Um,
interesting. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm laying down, my back is killing
but
me.
I've seen a ton of people saying, this is the game right here that really devalues running backs.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you can't expect to get paid as a running back anymore.
No, not at all. We were talking. Me and my chiropractor. Funny enough, we're talking about the other day. It. If you're a running back, that's the worst position you can have in the NFL right now for a contract.
When are kids going to stop playing running back? Might call them.
The same time,
It's just
they
not
stop
going to become
playing
a
hockey.
position.
Yeah, quarterbacks just run the ball
Who wants to play
All
running
passing.
back?
full on air raid.
Not me. I refuse to play running back.
I wouldn't either. I like my ankles the way they point.
That's the thing. You're taking on a ton of wear and tear, too.
Yeah, my knees are already shit anyway. So
All right. Well, I think that about wraps
that
up
up.
the sports part of this
Super Bowl?
show.
Question mark. Just
Well,
in general.
Yeah, the Super Bowl sucked.
Pats
Patriots
won.
Some commercials were good.
I called that on the show, except Jared Goff didn't show up.
You called what?
The Rams defense shutting down the Patriots for a majority of
Oh,
that game.
Jared Goff, man. Yes.
He's bad.
See, that was like his first playoff start the previous year.
Mhm.
Like, just atrocious. Moment was too big for him. And the offensive line was trash, too. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, a lot of people, everybody was just saying Jared Goff was terrible, and that's very true.
Yeah.
But the dude had no time to throw, and the Rams earlier that day just got named the offensive line of the year.
Plus, when he did have time to throw, he just marshmallowed the ball or threw it into traffic.
I don't know who said it, but someone on the Rams or Patriots defense said we're gonna make him shit his pants.
And I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
did.
I don't know. Kyle Van Noy, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't him.
So
He's Mormon. He wouldn't say that.
the one thing that I
Yeah.
brought up after the game.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't trash talk on the field at all.
Yeah. The 12 of 13 interceptions this season before the Super Bowl that Goff had thrown were against zone defense. 13 of 14 now in the full season that he threw were against zone defense.
Well, listen.
This was the first game the Patriots played zone defense this year.
Wow. As far as the Patriots defense goes, I can name you Kyle Van Noy, the McCourties, and
Pat
Gilmore.
Chung.
I didn't
Yeah, you
know there was two McCourties.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought there was only one. And then I saw McCourty, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they're twins.
didn't know that.
Jason was with the Titans originally, like when Devin was with the. I mean, Devin's been with the Pats his entire career. Jason was with the Titans, Browns, and then here
Please tell me they're going to be like defense attorneys after they retire. McCourty and McCourty.
McCourty,
Yeah.
Fishman.
Tom Brady ties the Steelers.
McCourty and Brady.
Oh no! Yeah, don't do that.
I asked you on or not Xbox, PlayStation after, is it bad as a Steelers fan that I really don't care?
Oh, I don't either. I think people that
I-
care about the Patriots have issues. Like
Well, like,
issues they need to figure out.
I used to, but I've gotten so used to it that like, I'm kind of
Well, they're
numb
not
to
tied to
it.
the Steelers, so
like it doesn't affect me. It's like
now
yeah,
I'll care
whatever.
even more because they
Yeah.
finally tied us.
I hated Brady until he won his third Super Bowl, and then it was like, okay, he's very obviously at least the greatest quarterback right now.
Yeah.
You can
Well, no-
hate it, but you have to respect it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I despise.
Mhm.
I despise it because I appreciate it and respect it so much. Like, I'm supposed to hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that team. Like,
Mhm.
so if you are like happy or content with seeing that, then that probably says a lot about your fandom to your own team.
Yeah, or the fact that you just don't care.
But yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. If you don't care, like that.
Well, I mean, when the Penguins are out of the playoffs, do you care who wins the cup?
Yeah.
Who?
I
Prefer
mean,
Capitals?
like when
Huh?
Pittsburgh
Not
was
the Capitals.
when Pittsburgh got eliminated this past year,
Well,
I wanted the
preferably-
Jets.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Preferably, as soon as the Penguins are out,
Mhm.
I want a Western Conference team to win, and I pick a Western Conference team. I don't want an Eastern Conference team.
But does that affect your day-to-day life?
I mean,
No,
No.
not to that. No.
Okay.
I mean, when the Capitals won, it didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like, yeah, it sucks the Capitals won, but whatever.
Yeah, but cool. Whatever. You know?
I mean, not cool, but
No, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh look, they won, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it too is, like I said, now the Patriots are tied with the Steelers.
I mean, to me,
Yeah.
maybe
something
it's
that we've held on.
maybe
to
it's
forever.
part of it is because it looked inevitable, like it was gonna happen.
Yeah. As much as I tried to will it into
Which is,
existence.
it's not like I don't care that they tied the Steelers. It's just I'm not gonna bitch about it
yeah.
because I mean, if the
Which-
Steelers, if the Steelers didn't want that to happen, then they should have won more.
Yeah. And that's all Twitter did was bitch about it, by the way. I saw so many people like, I don't even respect Tom Brady. It's like, come on.
Well, honestly, though, just to point out a few things, they've scored 3 points in the first quarter of his Super Bowls total.
They missed
He was like, if they lose that game, that's a terrible performance
all
by
around.
him. That's a terrible Super Bowl performance
Yeah,
by him. We're
agreed.
talking about like, look at like Ben's wins in the Super Bowl where they weren't that great.
Mhm.
Like, that would have been equally as bad.
If not worse.
And I mean, he did one, so I guess you could put it right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams' defense wasn't even that good this year. I mean, that secondary
No.
was pretty trash.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Brady just, I mean, it's impressive. I say he's the best quarterback of all time. I think that, I mean, I even said that after their last Super Bowl. Now, it was more of like, you know, you can debate me and you can have a different opinion, and I'll say, you know, you could be right too. I think with that win, I don't know if I could even listen to a debate on somebody else.
Yeah, I say the same thing, and I did have to debate with people, but it was whatever.
I mean, so what, Montana? Like, is that,
No, because they were they were. The thing is, that who I was talking to, they weren't just like going off of they weren't going off the whole package. I guess like him as his skill wise, plus all the winning and everything like that. Like they were saying, like they were more talking about like just flat out skill. Who's the best of all time?
oh, okay.
But I'm like, no one in any sport who talks about who's the greatest of all time just talks about your skill level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it, no matter how much people like don't want to say like it's a team sport and stuff. Like winning matters when it comes to being the greatest of all time.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's a combination. I don't think you should say like Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time just because he might be the most talented.
Like you might be able to say like Dan Marino.
Yeah.
But I mean, he never won.
That's like if somebody
So-
tells me Dan Marino is the most talented or something, then okay, we can have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
But the dude didn't win anything.
Now, not completely off topic, but somewhat along the lines. If you guys saw it all on ESPN the past week, there's now a conversation on who's better, Tom Brady or Michael Jordan.
Yeah. How?
Why?
How do you make that comparison?
You need clicks.
Because it's 6. They have 6 championships each. I guess.
I get that, but like
Two different sports,
yeah,
two different
you can't-
styles. It makes no sense. Zero, nada, zilch. Credit, watching Will Kane yell at Max Kellerman was hysterical, but it's stupid.
It is what it is. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you can cross sports and try to compare which one's better.
You can't. You can barely cross eras in time.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to even say who the best of all time is, to be
That's
honest.
why
because-
when I was
But
when I
like-
was talking about it, the people that I was talking to, they were basically like saying like the same thing. Like it's hard to like say because like they didn't watch these players play and stuff too. They're just going off like what they know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, I know Geddes and Bucko Mike don't like bringing up hockey, but I said like if you look at it, Crosby's the best player of all time, but he will never be considered the best player of all time because of like people like Lemieux
And Gretzky.
and Gretzky. Like
And
no
Howell.
one's going to consider him better than them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Except for
put
people who
him,
are smart.
but like with his like how he is physically and his skill set and like how he plays like in today's game, I mean, if you put him back in that game, he would be the best of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All
It was an annoying conversation.
Sports
Well-
are getting on my nerves.
Good, because I'm about to not talk about sports. All right. Time for the AMA segment. So, if anybody's still watching, wants to start asking us questions in there, feel free. Non-sports related, preferably, but if you must. All right, so let's start. Looking at my Instagram, I did have a couple through there. So this is for all of us. There might be some that are separated by person, Donnie, but this is for all of us. Preferred Fortnite close-range weapon, SMG or shotgun?
That was for who?
That's for all of us.
Oh.
If you don't use both, you're a bot. So
Oh my god.
Never even thought about that.
I mean, if I'm having one in my inventory, well, that's the thing. I'd never have just one in my inventory. So
That assault shotgun. I only keep one shotgun.
if I'm having one,
I'm saying SMG.
well, that's if I'm not switching to another gun. But that's not how I play. If I'm just having that one gun and I can only stick with that one gun while I'm fighting that person, then yeah, I'm taking an SMG. But I hit a shotgun, then I quickly switch to an SMG, then go back to my shotgun. So it's not a fair question, I guess, because that's not how I play.
But you might not be able to determine that. Like, what if it's straight off the drop? And you're picking
Straight
one
off the
gun?
that's like what I said. If I only have one, I'm not switching to another. Then it's an SMG.
Okay.
But I switched to
No, yeah. If you have both in your inventory,
yeah.
or the option to have both in your inventory, you're gonna have both in your inventory.
Now, do you like the P90 or the suppressed SMG?
I don't know. Honestly, like the P90 for me is just better at destroying buildings.
Yeah.
But like I think
If
as
I'm
far as
if
a
I'm actually
battle,
fighting someone,
I'm
like
gonna take the suppressed.
so am I.
They
A
nerfed
blue
the shit
suppre-
out of the P90. I'm
Blue
not happy
suppressed
about it.
SMG. Well, you remember when it first came out?
Yeah, that's why I loved it.
All you had to do was have an inventory full of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
And
why
the ammo.
that's why the
Oh God,
What is this?
what is that?
that was our ad.
Oh,
We're getting
well,
taken down.
that's why the drum gun's not in the game anymore, because it made the game not fun.
Will Kane is a bitch.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong.
He has his own like show though. I don't know
Yeah.
how. God, that's like
I
us having
find
our
it
own show.
entertaining.
If you just answer,
That's like us having our own show.
Stubbs.
Oh, well, here we are.
Don't make
Beefy
me say
just
it.
answer.
Don't make me say it. Just kidding.
Stubbs,
right.
you're a bot.
Okay, so Ross, that first question he asked me, can't answer on air.
No. I
Um,
don't think the second question we can
stay
answer.
tuned for Around the 412 After Dark.
Don't. Actually, no. Go to North Shore 9 because that's what it'll be.
But anyway, he ended
Don't
up
go
asking
there.
me. Obviously, you guys have talked about this before, but would you keep Bell and Brown, one of them, or neither? If they get rid of Brown, will they make playoffs, and do you guys still see them as a Super Bowl contender?
Ooh.
Would I keep? I wouldn't keep either. Though.
At this point, no.
I would be okay with Bell coming back.
Yeah.
And as far as the playoffs, if they get rid of Brown, it depends. They need to add, like, do I trust James Washington as a number 2? I don't know. He's got to take a lot of leaps
Yeah.
to be that. Depends on what they add as another receiver then at that point. I mean, I would love a guy like Deshaun Jackson who can stretch the field to go opposite or play
Ooh.
in between Juju and James. But,
I didn't even think about that.
to me, honestly, as weird as it sounds, I think that their playoff hopes rely on whoever is the opposite receiver of Juju.
Agreed.
I don't think that, like, Juju can – I'm not saying that Juju can't be a number 1. I think that he can be a number 1, but
It's
I
just
think
not
that's a
gonna be
very
AB.
strong 1B if he is the number 1.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, AB is AB. He can make almost any catch anywhere on the field. Juju is open because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Juju's taken, AB's open. You need that dual set,
Right.
in my opinion.
See the mock draft that had us taking Brown's cousin?
I saw people talking about it on Twitter.
That's funny.
I can't imagine what the conversations have been like between those two
Probably
in
not
this
good.
offseason, knowing that there's a possibility that could happen. Some things have probably been said by one of them to the other about the organization that would probably turn him away from wanting to be here. So if he does have a pre-draft interview, it will probably go miserably. And they would no longer want to draft him.
Oh well.
As far as Super Bowl contender, I don't think that relies on either of those two guys. Oddly enough,
Agreed.
I think that the defense is where you can't be a Super Bowl contender when you're 26th in takeaways.
Mhm.
It just isn't going to happen. They're first in the league in sacks over the last 2 years,
Cool.
but 26th in takeaways.
Yep.
They had a total of somewhere between 5 and 8 interceptions this year.
Mhm.
That's not going to cut it. I don't care how little yards you give up or little points. At some point in the game, you have to turn the tide with a takeover.
People want
Takeover
people
with a turnover. I would say takeaway and turnover, and I
Yeah.
made it in one word.
People want to bitch
2K
about
takeover.
about Bud Dupree overrunning guys. People want to bitch about Hargrave and Tuitt go missing. What about the guys in the back that just are missing in general?
Yeah, I mean, I am
and
as-
middle linebackers. for
as
that
big
matter.
of a Sean Davis fan as there is, but this switch to the other safety position was supposed to be
good for
him becoming a ball hawk,
Mhm.
and didn't happen.
Nope.
Um,
He went
Edmonds,
to you, right?
what's that?
He went to Miami, right?
No, Maryland.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Artie Burns, duh.
Edmonds, oh God,
What happened?
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the pick, but I did it was an upside pick. I mean,
Yeah.
you're relying on him heavily progressing in a couple seasons,
I still think his brother's better, but you weren't getting him.
and
So
well, yeah. His
Did he
his
finish
brother
with
been
the
great.
most snaps?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Out of everybody, I think once Burnett came back, that
Mm.
kind of took the
He's
workload.
ass.
Yeah, I mean that's another guy. Like they just have too many guys that are these hybrid positions.
Well, Burnett doesn't want to come back,
Yeah.
so
They have too many guys that are these hybrid positions that don't get takeaways.
Yeah.
At
at the very least, knock the ball down, and you don't do that.
So as much as I'm saying about on the offensive side of the ball, how you need to have a receiver opposite of Juju to solidify the offense, as important as it is to the offense, I think on the reverse side of that, whatever they do about that second corner spot is going to make or break the defense for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, agreed.
Whether it be, do they try to do something in free agency or is that their first round draft pick? I mean, you would think that they're going linebacker and corner first 2 rounds. I mean, pray to God that that's what they're doing.
You hope
Because, I mean, you could argue that if Brown's not here, they need a receiver in one of those 2 rounds, but they
you
can
can
find
sign one.
I would say they find receivers that
Yeah,
like nothing.
Later in
So
round,
I think corner and linebacker are where you go. It just depends, which one do you go first.
you need to get better at middle linebacker. Period. End of story. Like I understand the Shazier thing is one thing that obviously
Yeah.
is going to set you back. Williams and Bostic aren't going to cover you, especially if LJ Fort is playing and he's covering number 1 wide receivers. If you're going to do that, you need at least a quick middle linebacker. At least.
Yeah, I mean the perfect guy
With
was
Shazier.
well, I was just say as a replacement. Once we knew that happened, was
Mhm.
Leighton Vander Esch.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Unfortunately he wasn't there. He was a guy that was linked heavily to the Steelers. And that guy, he doesn't look like he can, but he can cover the entire field.
Mhm.
He does boundary to boundary like nothing. But Bostic was okay. But
Yeah.
once again,
okay.
we talked about the biggest thing with that is guys being asked to do more than what they're capable of. He was a perfect example of that. LJ Fort. He's very good as a coverage linebacker, but no linebacker, when I say no, I'm there's obviously, like Bobby Wagner can do it all as
Yeah.
linebacker, but very few linebackers are going to be able to cover a number 1 receiver. That's not a realistic expectation of LJ Fort.
Yeah.
I really like LJ Fort, but that's not what he's here to do.
Agreed.
So to me, yeah, the defense is going to be the key to them actually being a Super Bowl contender, and the biggest key to that defense is adding the number 2 corner.
Adding a defense.
So much for non.
By the way,
questions.
I was going to say, how did we get to that?
Sorry, yeah. Anyway, that was actually the last one from my Instagram. There's only those 2. We probably want to save Donnie's for last because they're going to take the longest.
Sure.
So,
Stubbs asked a question in the chat.
what is it?
What would you have on your perfect sandwich?
Oh man, that's a terrible question for me. Stubbs is
Ooh.
going to hate my answer because I don't like anything.
So I make a really weird Italian sub.
Go ahead.
I do all the normal stuff. I generally speaking take the lettuce off, but I'll leave it on if I have to. Italian dressing's on there, mayo, bacon, and jalapenos. Yeah. I make a monstrosity of an Italian, but it's great.
Okay, well, my perfect sandwich is a Pittsburgher from Pepe's.
Okay.
So-
Well, all right. See,
I didn't
I
have
can-
one of those, so I
I can.
Like, I'm not gonna make my own, but
No.
I will go to Pepe's and get a Pittsburgher, and that's like one of my favorite sandwiches, if not my favorite.
like the Roethlisberger from Pepe's. That's
Okay,
Oh, no, not a Pittsburgher, New Yorker. I get a Pittsburgher at Permanis. I'm dumb.
real
I was just
question.
okay.
When are we doing a live podcast from Pepe's?
No.
I don't know.
No.
If we say their name on here enough,
Pepe's,
maybe we-
Pepe's, Pepe's, Pepe's.
maybe we can get sponsorship or something.
Listen, we've
but
been giving you free advertisement for like the past year and a half.
we can send you the audio files if need be. But yeah, honestly, like, see, I don't know if Stubbs knows what that is though. So
What,
What?
Pepe's?
yeah,
He doesn't know what Pepe's is?
possibly not.
Beaver County boy.
I really don't know. But that would probably be my number 1 sandwich too. But if I'm making it myself, It's gonna be like just heavy on the meats and no vegetables.
Please tell me your chicken's in there because your chicken is great.
On a sandwich?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Depends.
But I was just say like turkey, ham, bacon, maybe some roast beef. I'm a big roast beef guy, even on like a cold cut. And then provolone and cheddar cheese.
I guess I'm gonna make it myself. Well, I didn't make it myself, but I put it together at a line so I went to BYU, Idaho, and when I was there, I got like a sandwich like every day for lunch, and I would get. It was on. I don't know what the bread there was called, but it was kind of similar to like the Italian herbs and cheese at Subway.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so I had that bread, and then it was a roast beef sandwich with pepper jack cheese, lettuce, tomato. It was toasted, and it had like a jalapeno ranch on it as well.
Huh.
And
Now
I
I'm hungry.
I really like that.
Sounds decent.
I went to Pepe's with Ross and BK once.
Ooh.
Flames. Yes. It's Flames. So you know our answers are good.
Okay. So how many of these stupid questions on Twitter do I actually want to bring up?
Whatever
'Cause
you
there's
want to ask. I
Yeah.
don't care. I started it all.
Can Herb spend a best friend fun week with Jack Johnson?
Who asked that?
Mike, Bird Fins fan.
Hold
You're
on.
on.
Hold on. Before you answer, think about it. He won't be able to play if he's with you.
Sign me up.
I just say, now, look at it like this. Well, one, we wouldn't be able to record for a week.
That's a plus for everyone.
That's a plus for everybody. Two, we get rid of Jack Johnson for a week, which is probably, what, 3 games
Three,
for
yeah.
the Pens?
Depending on what time it is, yeah.
And then in those 3 games, if they go 3-0 and mesh, he's not getting his spot back.
No.
So I'm
And
all
he-
for this.
He's not a horrible person. He's not a horrible person. He's just a horrible hockey player.
I'm all for this best friends fun week.
I am
whatever.
too. Yeah. I'll accept it. Him and I can go get milkshakes or something.
Why are all 3 of us sad? Oh, boy. Where to begin? No.
Do you look at us? Just
I'll
Look,
answer first.
Want to go back to 2014?
I'll answer first. I no longer am.
oh God, he's going deep.
Me neither. Believe it or not.
I've been good for about a year and a half. Really, I mean, not to make it all about this, but when we started the podcast, like that's kind of when everything started to turn around. Like, man, like March, April of 2017 was like when I hit my low point. I didn't have a job at that time. Everything just kind of sucked, and then like the end of summer we started this. So ever since then I've been good. So probably like July of 2017 ish. I've been the happiest of my life up until now.
I'd say
Explain why you're not sad.
why I'm not sad. I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Was that vegan pizza?
What?
That vegan pizza from last week? That shit
I
looked
mean-
good too.
I mean, it really wasn't. The crust was fire. I'll tell you that.
So this kind of plays into. I want to say that Ryan asked, "Can Beefy not send depressing tweets for a week?"
Find
so this
one.
kind of plays into it because
Find one. When's the last time I said something that sad? So yeah, I guess it started in December or not December, sometime in 2014. That was sad for a while. Few years. I don't know when it stopped though. I'm not really sad anymore. But I guess that's still my niche. That's my thing. I'm the sad one. Like
Yeah.
I even tell people like I'm known as like the sad one amongst my friends. Maybe especially 'cause I like.
you have to find somebody more sad now. to-
Well, I don't.
Me.
I don't go out and do anything, which probably doesn't help. Like they
No.
think I'm at home being depressed.
Yeah.
Realistically, I'm at home because I don't want to be with you idiots, and I'm just watching Netflix or playing like video games.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
for the most part,
Smitty.
like I don't go out anymore. Like I mainly just play PlayStation during the weekends now, and
I guess we're idiots. We're his friends.
Like I stay in my room. So,
yeah, I stay in my
but
basement,
but that makes me sad, I guess.
my mom's basement.
See,
in Florida.
I'm different from
Yeah,
you
I
guys,
live.
guess.
I live in my parents' house. Sue me.
I guess
You can't. I don't have any money.
In your face, I don't have money. I guess I'm different from you guys then. I like going out and doing stuff. Just nobody wants to do it with me.
Well,
I wonder why.
we know why.
Oh.
I don't. Yes, just like I find enjoyment in.
You think we
literally
like coming here every week?
No.
Like I love.
By the way, I'm still sad.
video games.
Yeah.
Like video games are my thing. I guess I don't know.
Fair enough.
Video games and like I'm perfectly okay sitting at home watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
I mean, honestly, my like going out is like going to eat or going to a sporting event.
Yeah.
Occasionally go to the movies, but like I still like want to go home after that. Like I'm
That-
definitely not like an out all night type of person.
No.
That's
like
my
that.
going out. Like if you want to see me in public, go to a sporting event. That's where you'll see me.
Yeah.
Besides that, I don't care. Pat the Nez Punk waves. Hi guys.
What's
What
good?
up?
I think he literally just followed us, whoever that was. So thank you, because I got the email, the Twitch notifications. So thank you.
You got an
If
email.
you have any questions,
Dab.
we're answering unsports related stuff right now.
or sports related,
So
it doesn't matter.
yeah, if you can't think of anything, then like
or
as a
sports related,
fallback,
but I mean we always talk about sports.
It's a fallback.
So
use sports as a fallback if you can't think of anything else. How many more Stanley Cups will the Pens win with Kessel? 10, 15, or 20? That's from Mike in Illinois. I'm gonna say 2.
I want to say 2, but God.
I'm saying
10,
2.
15, or 20. 2.
Like literally, as you were reading that, I said 2 in my head. That's that's best case scenario in my opinion.
Yeah, if we can get 2 more cups out of this
Yeah.
team,
Suck
like
for
this,
20
this
years. I
like
don't care.
core.
This core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you get one more cup out of this core, you're.
Oh yeah,
You're good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I'm just saying to because
I mean, for a while, it was like, are we going to get another cup out of this team after the 2009 one? Because they kept like getting bounced out in the first or second round of the
Yeah,
playoffs.
kept having
Yeah.
Steve Downey being
And-
the third line's right wing.
And I think for a while he was on Sid's swing.
Probably.
But
Gotta have that grit.
yeah, and
Was that a 5-on-3?
yeah, they just got
Oh.
called for a delay game.
Nice.
But now it's like they won back-to-back cups. Not just win 2 cups, they won them back-to-back, which is like really hard to do.
Yeah.
First time in 20 years. So it's like right now, if they don't win another one, like I can't really be mad, but I will say if they don't win another one, I might be a little disappointed
Yeah.
for like having this core for
because
like,
yeah, it's still the same team. It's not like
Yeah.
a lot of it's been broken up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. As Penguins fans, we don't have room to bitch.
and we're gonna have this core for at least the next like
Yeah.
4 or 5
But at the
years.
same,
Yeah.
you also got to expect that like teams are going to get better.
Yeah.
Like when we beat Tampa in the Eastern Conference Final, that was a Tampa team that we knew was on
Young.
the rise.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were going to be keeping those guys together. I mean, that was like Ben Bishop's out.
Mhm.
Now look at what like very similar to like a Fleury Murray. Like
Mhm.
Vasilevsky was taking over, and we knew that team was going to be very good.
Yep.
And they've only gotten better, and they've
And
added
look at
to it
Kucherov
with McDonough.
Good
and,
God.
compared to
Yeah.
like what like Kucherov starting 2 years ago. It's
Like
just
at
lit
that
it up.
time, I had like Kucherov and Killorn on like the same level. And now looking back, that's like wow.
Ooh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, but like I was saying, Penguins fans, we have no room to bitch anymore at this point for the next, what, 5 years probably? Like, obviously,
At
we
least.
want to win.
Yeah.
We should
Till
be
Sid
winning.
retires.
Yeah, agreed. And after that, we kind of have no choice but to suck for a little bit, right?
I hope they do. I've said that.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope they suck so
Yeah.
they can get the high draft pick.
Agreed. But,
As much as that's gonna be shitty to watch,
yeah.
like it suck for 2, maybe 3 years. Suck as much as you can
Mm-hmm.
so you can rebuild your team.
Yep.
Because I mean, going from like this core to life without this core, it's gonna be like a culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing what the Ducks do now is basically what you don't want to do. Hold on to memories of the past and
Yeah.
suck even more because you signed Ryan Kessler to a massive deal.
Corey
for no
Perry
reason,
just came back actually.
who almost got
Weekend.
killed by Jake Muzzin.
It's funny that we just said, about the sports questions, and then immediately the last 2 to answer were sports questions.
Take next year and start early.
Wow. That's bold.
Take
I'm-
next year. What the?
That's
I'm
bold.
from Cleveland, so I won't say much. That's Pat.
Oh,
Pat the Nez Punk.
gotcha. Well, either way, we appreciate you following. But like I said,
I like Baker Mayfield. By
you
the
might
way.
be from Cleveland, but like the questions you can literally ask us whatever. So doesn't have to be sports related. Even
We
if it's
kind of
Cleve-
prefer if it doesn't be sports related.
if you want to
right
ask
now.
something Cleveland sports related, we'll try to answer it. We might sound like idiots compared to what you actually think.
Well,
But
it's an outside perspective. Like, I like hearing people that don't necessarily know everything about the Penguins talk about the Penguins.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
but last thing that's here on Twitter: when will Harper sign his 1-year deal?
2 weeks from now.
I don't know. When's he going to Tokyo to sign it?
Tokyo.
Damn it. Didn't I say that last week? Him and Machado would go to Japan?
Yep. And then baseball, like the MLB, will
Just
just
switches over.
yeah.
God.
Everyone does it.
MLB dies.
That'd be hysterical. I mean, hell.
All right. So last questions that we have in front of us that aren't through Twitch come from our friend Donnie Druin, who we gave a shout out to at the beginning. But so basically, he sent me this list. All 3 of our names, 3 questions apiece.
Oh.
These guys don't have these questions yet.
Nope.
I'll answer mine first. Says, your last name is Smith, but what a lot of people don't know is that his original last name is Smith as well. My mother got remarried when I was young, and I changed it to that last name. So are we potentially long-lost family members?
I hope.
I will have to look into this, trace my lineage all the way back, and find out if we are related. Because now I'm curious. I mean, there's obviously a ton of Smiths. It's very unlikely.
Donnie Smith.
That's my dad's name.
Yeah.
Don Smith,
Donnie's actually your dad.
Donnie, we
named
figured
after
it out.
your dad.
We figured it out. You're actually my
Yeah,
dad.
you're named after your fifth cousin's dad.
So the very short answer is I'll look into it. Anyway, Herb, what got you into Cruella?
Funny enough, video games.
Hmm.
Like 2011, 2012 YouTube. You guys remember like KY or Speedy and shit like that? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, I think
Do
it
I
was
remember what?
the people who uploaded Call of Duty back then. Like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3.
No.
Yeah, it used to be one of their intros. It used to be the Come and Get It summer remix. I can't remember who it was by, but that's how I got into them.
The only like YouTube, the gaming YouTube channel, and it wasn't even really gaming. It was like skits
Mm-hmm.
because of gaming. Was Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
So
Who I
I'd
still watch
watch
to
like
this day.
Red versus Blue
Yeah.
and that stuff.
I still watch them to this
Do you
day.
know what that
That's-
is
No.
with Halo?
Mm-mm.
Oh, there's
We'll
like an
have to show you.
entire like there's seasons of episodes,
I think they're up
and
to
it's
like
Red
17.
versus Blue,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's really funny. It's just like Halo, and they like do voiceovers and stuff.
Yeah, and they do a weekly podcast too, which is actually where I got the idea to start one, just in general.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, but
All right. So there are a lot of Mormons in Arizona.
lit.
Would you ever think about a potential around the 412 to Arizona 2K19 trip?
yeah,
I mean,
hell yeah, let's go to a Diamondbacks game.
do I have to come to Arizona because there's a lot of Mormons? Is that the reasoning I'm going?
I don't know. That's what the question says.
And then
Uh,
the next question is Jimmer Fredette will be there.
I do know there's a lot of Mormons in Arizona. After Utah, well, actually Utah probably doesn't even have the highest population. Idaho probably does. But like the most
What the
that
hell
ha-
are you looking at?
See how much time.
the most that has most states that have like the most is like Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Arizona is probably like in the top 4. So I did know that, and I've been to Arizona once. I've been to the Grand Canyon. It was on like a vacation, but I would go to Arizona again, I guess, if it was in I don't know. The problem is you're not going to get me there in the summer. I'm not coming when it's like over 110 degrees. Like you can just I'm not going to say it.
Let's
I
do
caught
October.
myself.
Let's do October and go to a Coyotes game.
I'd rather go in like mid-January.
Go to a Coyotes game.
What?
That's how you're gonna entice people to go to Arizona.
Yeah,
I'd rather go when it's at its coldest. Whether that's like
technically
70 degrees or what.
I'm pretty sure right now it's warmer here than it is there.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to get me in the winter. So I'm not coming during the summer. But I'd go there.
I want to see Tyler in 116 degree heat when planes' tires are melting onto the runway.
I've been in it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It blows. Yeah.
Donnie,
But
how do you do it?
I
That's
will
my question
come.
to you.
But yeah, they actually the top quarterback recruit is from Arizona, from BYU, or is going to BYU. That's that. He's like one of the top 10 quarterbacks in high
Mormon?
school. Is he Mormon? Yeah.
Okay. So this
Did
one's
you
for
even
me.
need to ask that?
We're back at me. What is the inspiration behind my Instagram posts?
Yeah, I'm curious on this too.
Well, like anybody that follows me on Twitter, I tweeted out like I was just
Going
going to
full John Cena.
Yeah, going to switch to my Instagram to like a full John Cena type thing. Don't know why I didn't do it before because it's hilarious in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Every once in a while, I just go back on John Cena's feed and just look at all his pictures. They never make sense. In his mind, they somehow do. For me, really, all I do is just search my camera roll and just pick a random picture. Sometimes it relates to like what's going on that day, but very rarely is that the case. I mean, when I use like the one of Finn Balor, it was during the Royal Rumble, so
Yeah.
that's why I did it. But
I didn't even know who that was.
yeah. Other than that, I mean, normally I just pick a random picture, no caption. That's what part of the rules. I as well do not comment back, so I just like the comments.
Oh.
So yeah, that's kind of the whole inspiration behind my
You stripped Instagram down to the bare bones.
new Instagram. The way that I use Instagram now. That's all All right, so Herb, your profile says ask you about beer, so I will. What beer can you recommend to somebody that really just doesn't like the taste of beer? I'd like to expand my horizons beyond Angry Orchard.
Oh. See, I don't like the taste of normal beer, and by normal beer, I would put domestic like Miller Lite, Bud Light,
Yeah.
Coors Light, blah blah blah. I'm an IPA person. I think I've said that multiple times. I started with Blue Moon though. Doesn't really taste like beer to me. There's a little bit to it, and if you drink a good bit of them, they start tasting like orange juice. So
I like Blue Moon,
Yeah, so I'd say start there.
but I've had some bad Blue Moon.
Yeah,
When I was in Atlantic City, I got a Blue Moon draft, and it was while I was sitting in a machine. The first year I went, I was sitting in a machine, and like the drinks are free, so I just
Yeah.
type Blue Moon. They bring like a plastic cup
Mm-hmm.
of Blue Moon. Terrible.
You know,
There's
you
no
know why?
orange with it. Like,
Well, A, it's no orange with it.
Yeah.
B, they probably don't clean their tap.
yeah, probably.
That's my guess. Then again, I've had a couple Blue Moon out of bottles where I don't know if they expired or they just sat somewhere too long.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the best, but that's where I would start.
All right. Not sure where this one comes from. What would your last meal be if you were in prison on death row?
Me?
15 years from
Uh,
now, Tyler Weeks arrested on manslaughter. Please don't let that not come true.
That's a tough one. 'Cause I like a lot of different types of food, so I don't know what I'd want my last one to be.
Pepe's.
I mean, Pepe's could be good, but I also like hibachi. I like Mexican.
Why is this one just for you? What the
I don't know. I mean, you guys can answer it too.
While you're thinking, the MLB changed its name of disabled list
Yeah,
to injury
yeah.
list.
Yeah, who cares?
Apparently, people who think being disabled means you can't play in general.
I mean, Herb's disabled, so
Yeah, and I played baseball, so not well.
I'll say. I guess I'll just say Pepe's just to pick an answer.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
That's dude. I have no idea where I'd go with it. Part of me wants to say a burrito Durango from El Paso, because
You don't have
That's
to just pick
part of
one
me
thing.
part of me wants to say a pork burrito
much do you
enchilada
think-
style from Cafe Rio in Utah.
Have you guys ever seen like any information on people's last meals?
Well,
on death
yeah,
row?
yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, you put that in, like, I know that I could eat a little bit of multiple different things, but
Fuck,
if I have that burrito, like,
I'll eat the Bible.
That's how I guess that's how I feel with that burrito from Cafe Rio, which none of you know what that is.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, what's Cafe Rio?
It's out west. Actually,
Oh.
Donnie.
Donnie
Are
would
there-
know.
Are there Cafe Rios in Arizona?
No, here we go.
I don't know.
oh no, I'll answer my last question while you're looking at that.
All right.
Who is the person that means the most to you in your life?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm watching him play hockey right now.
Today's show's over.
Honestly, I'm gonna say the people that aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
Meaning my grandmother, my cousin. Like, I mean, I have tattoos that kind of represent that. Like, I have a tattoo for my grandma. I have one that says "Don't waste your time." I have the word "today" tattooed on my wrist, and I'm getting another one on the inside of this arm, that says "Promises to keep, miles till I sleep." You know, the meaning that, like, I understand that I'm in a position that not a lot of other people are, like, just living alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wake up each day thinking I'm not just living for myself, you know, like, unfortunately my cousin's not here to live his life anymore. So whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to live my life for him as well. Same thing with my grandma. So I guess I would say my loved ones that aren't here anymore are the people that mean the most to me.
By the way, there are a fuck ton of Cafe Rios in Arizona.
How do you know that?
He looked
I
it
just
up.
looked it up.
Oh.
Was that for you?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys want to answer, that's fine.
I'm not gonna top that answer, so whatever.
I don't think I have
It's
one.
not about topping the answer.
Yeah, but my answer's gonna seem like shit compared to that answer. So
It's like going to perform on stage after like
me. So yeah,
what's his face? David Bowie.
me.
Herb,
Me.
do you have any siblings?
No, me.
Yes.
I feel like I don't know anything about your family.
I have a sister.
Is that
That's
it?
That's it.
He has a sister and 2 parents.
Sadly. They're annoying.
Jesus. Sadly, after literally what
Yeah.
Smitty just talked about, he's like, sadly. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Didn't listen to a word he said.
And then lastly, expectations for the upcoming Avengers movie. I'm a manager at a movie theater, so slide through for free tickets.
Is this for me?
Yeah.
We're going to Arizona.
I'm stoked for Endgame. Like, and now that there's like rumors, they're saying it's 3 hours long, and I saw somewhere that they said they might take a break. I do not want to break. Just put it all into my veins right now.
Like, honestly, if you're going to see that movie, this is supposed to be your answer, but if you're going to see that movie, you're probably a pretty big stan.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're not going to want that break. You're not going to care about taking a break. You could sit through it if they add another hour or 2 hours.
There's going to be that one person that has to piss right in the middle of the movie.
I'm not going to say what I'm going to say.
What?
But, like, seriously, like, what are you doing?
But yeah, I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be a great movie.
I hope it's good.
I'm excited for Captain Marvel next month because Captain Marvel is gonna be in Endgame. And yeah, I'm curious to see how they pull it off because there was 14,605 ways that there are 14,605 situations where they fight Thanos and only one they win. And so
It's going to be the one.
Doctor Strange set it up so they're in the one where they win. So it's going to be curious to see how it pans out because some people are saying like they could go into like an alternate universe where like that didn't or where like it didn't happen or like time travel because of Ant-Man.
See, that's the thing. I was listening to somebody talk about this today. There were two ideas that I can kind of get behind. One is that Doctor Strange got into a point where he knew he couldn't do anything after that point to win, you know? And now it's just kind of up to them to do the right thing, whatever that may be. And then the other one was that it's going to be a split universe.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of scenarios. I know that Iron Man is alive for like Tony Stark's alive because he had to be because he was going to kill him and he's in Infinity War. He said Doctor Strange said if it comes down to you or the kid or the time stone, I won't hesitate to let you both die. Because he was protecting the time stone, but then he gave the time stone to Thanos so he wouldn't kill Tony. So obviously Tony needs to be alive for some reason. I can't wait to see. It's gonna be great. I don't care if they make it like 5 hours. Just shove it all into my veins.
Well, I mean the test views or whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called anymore. It's 3 hours and everyone loves it.
Yeah,
They don't care.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So
My mom actually, she wanted to catch up on all of them because she had seen like movies here and there throughout the MCU, but she hadn't seen like all of them in order to understand them all. And so, like 3 weeks ago, I guess, her, my dad, and I started on Friday night, and then all like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we finished Monday night. Because what Monday was? Monday was it Martin Luther King Day? I think. Because my mom didn't have to like work and neither did I and stuff. And so, yeah, we watched it and we watched all 20 of them over the weekend. So,
By the way, Black Panther is on Netflix. For anybody that didn't know.
Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War, and is that it? Is those three? I know at least those. And Ant-Man and the Wasp are all on
I don't know
Netflix.
why it's such like Black Panther is a very good movie. Like I like there's like a not a race war going on Twitter about it, but like people are saying like
war?
it's shoved down people's throat,
Yeah.
and they're saying you're only saying that because you're white or it's like crazy.
people are dumb.
Just-
Dude, I remember whenever I saw someone on Twitter talking about that, and they're like, when is a Latino person gonna get like
Yeah.
a superhero movie? And it's like, you guys got Spy Kids.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Now, I think it might offend both of you. I've only seen 2 Marvel movies.
I don't care what you do.
Okay.
I'm not into it like everybody else, but I do enjoy them.
Like, I'm not gonna freak out.
Like
if
I
you
really don't
see
know
it.
much about like the background or
Yeah, I've only seen
Okay.
Logan and I guess Deadpool count. Is that
Yeah,
okay? I've seen
I mean,
both.
neither of those are MCU,
Yeah, but they're still Marvel.
but they're Marvel.
Yeah, I've seen both Deadpool's, Logan, and then Infinity War. That's it.
So you saw Infinity War
Yeah.
without seeing any of the 19 before it.
Yeah, my friends were going to see it, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll come.
So none of it.
Did you
makes
enjoy
sense.
it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I understood some of it.
Some
It's-
of it.
It's not like I'm completely oblivious to what's going on.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But still, seeing that one without seeing any of the other ones.
It didn't make you want to see the other ones?
I'm just not a big movie person. Like, I would watch them if they're there, but I just don't want to pay for them. You know?
Well,
See, I love movies. Movies and music, really anything like that. Any entertainment like that.
I do want to give a shout out right before we get off. There was a podcast that, like, when we had our little like Pod Hub meetup in Pittsburgh that one day.
The one that came.
Well, these two guys that just started a podcast did, and it's like they recorded, and they started their Twitter page. All head, no fake. Which I love that name, by the way.
All head, no fake.
Yeah. So they're going to be talking about like MLB and NBA, which nobody really talks about NBA.
No.
So if you want to drop over there and give them a follow, they're going to be putting out content on behalf of Pod Hub.
You know,
Plus
we don't talk about NBA.
Plus, was today the deadline?
So yeah,
So-
they talk about it on there and
I
stuff.
got a
So.
load to talk about.
So their first episode that they put out is going to be the trade deadline. Boom. We talk about NBA and it's trade deadline day. Here's
Yeah.
our first episode.
Good Lord. Good luck.
By the way, I don't know why the Penguins can't get a puck past Luongo, but
That was Luongo. Net.
people are talking about on Twitter how he's playing out of his mind.
I mean, it's Roberto
So-
Luongo. He's like 20 all the time. He's literally Doctor Strange of the NHL.
20 all the time.
All right. Anyway, we'll finish up by once again saying, if you're still watching us on Twitch, thank you very much. If you're watching us on Twitch but not following, please hit that follow. So close to the giveaway. We're probably about 5 away now. And 5 followers, we're going to give away. You know what? Well, I said Pirate tickets or a Pirates jersey, but if people, like for example, we just have a follower now that's in Cleveland. We could, if you were
If you want
somehow,
it.
if you were to be the one that won it, we could switch to Indians tickets or
Something like that, yeah.
a jersey.
Indian
So
jersey.
we'll figure something out depending on who it is. But anyway, we're about 5 followers away from doing that. If you are listening anywhere else besides Twitch, head on over to Twitch to follow to be part of that. Like I said, super close. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to watch it on there. Thanks for listening as always. We'll be back next week. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.